Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Liz Marden and I'm an animal behaviourist with my company Nature's Therapies. So Halloween is just a few days away. It's one of my favourite festivals, holidays, events. So I thought I would spend just a few minutes talking to you about how to help your pets best cope with Halloween, as it is a terrifying time. Especially for animals who perhaps haven't experienced it before, so puppies can find it quite scary. So let's start by talking about our pumpkins and decorations. So pumpkins and other Halloween decorations can be quite scary for your pets, especially if they just suddenly appear. So if you think of the hollowed out jack-o'-lantern pumpkins, they've got the scary faces etched into them. You could have a witch in the corner, or cobwebs in the window, or spiders everywhere. However you want to rock out with Halloween, your house could look completely different to your animal. They could also smell really different, and that can be quite terrifying. So to help your animals realise that these are just decorations, they're not going to hurt them, nothing to worry about, let your animal actually see you put them up. So have them in the same room as you when you're perhaps carving your pumpkins, or when you're popping up your spider webs and different fairy lights with pumpkins in them and things like that. Okay. What you can also do is perhaps let them investigate those props. So don't let them eat them, obviously, but if you have perhaps got statues that can look like people, they're probably going to be the more triggering items. So if you've got perhaps like a witch statue, let your dog sniff it when it's still sort of all packaged up, or your cat or your bird or your rabbit, even your horse if you're decorating the stables, farm animals, etc. Let them investigate those props before they're up, so before they're fully assembled. Let them get used to their smell, and then, like I said, let them see you actually put them up so that they can check them out. Don't obviously let them eat them, because we don't want them going to the vets on Halloween. That would ruin your day and make your animal very ill, so we don't want to do that. But do let them see what you're doing. Make sure those decorations are out of reach. So if you have got spider webs going into the window, make sure they're out of reach so that your animals can't pull them down. So cats are fantastic at getting tangled in things. So make sure your cats can't pull them down and get all tangled in them. Make sure your animals can't eat them. Make sure nothing's going to fall apart that your animal might be able to inhale and become ill. So just be a bit sensible with that. Pumpkins, don't leave them unattended with your animals around in case they try to eat them. Pumpkins obviously normally have a candle in them. If you've got the candle lit, don't let your animals near them so they don't burn themselves or knock them over and set your house on fire. And the biggest one is give your animals a space that is decoration free, that they can retreat to if they need a break from it all. So have one room that just is normal, fully kitted out, perhaps pop their bed in there, put some toys in there so that they've got an option to leave that kind of fun-filled room of Halloween and go to a quiet retreat place where they can just chill. And if they do go there, leave them to it and let them just hang out there and be quite happy. With costumes and trick-or-treating, so whether you're going as a zombie cat, as the lovely picture on the screen is, a witch, a ghost, a pumpkin, a vampire, or ghoul, costumes can be scary, especially if you don't realise who's wearing them. So the easiest thing you can do to help your animals with this is let them see you put the costume on. It's very similar in terms of when we're talking about wearing masks to be COVID safe. If you're putting your mask on, if your animal sees you do it a couple of times and taking it off, they realise it's you. If your animal watches you put your witch outfit on or your ghost outfit on or whatever, they're going to realise it's you underneath. If they do still get a little bit worried, you can do a bit of counter conditioning to make it really fun. So pairing that scary thing of you being dressed up with a really yummy treat or toys, but do make sure that animal's safe. So I'm not on about trick-or-treating treats, I'm on about animal-friendly treats. So throw them a few treats to let them eat. If they're afraid of you, try and not walk up to them to give them a treat, because that could just make them so much more terrified. But try and throw them the treats so they can have a little investigate and see what's going on. When you do go out trick-or-treating, if that's allowed at this time, obviously please do be COVID safe. It's best to leave your animals at home. So it can be quite tempting sometimes to take your dog on a walk with you when you're out trick-or-treating, but actually they can become quite terrified by the other people that are all dressed up that they haven't seen get ready, or by the props and things like that that are going on. So do leave your animal friends at home. If you are going to dress up your animals, make sure they're enjoying it. So don't force them to wear anything that they're not going to want to. So you can perhaps pop them in a little outfit, but make sure they're not stressed. So make sure they're not panting, loads of lip licking, so sticking their tongues out, like hard stares, things like that. Just make sure your animal is comfortable. And if they're not, again, you can try a bit of counter conditioning to get them to like it, but don't force them. Okay, just because you want to dress up and have fun doesn't always mean your animal wants to. And finally, make sure you keep those trick-or-treat goodies out of reach of your pets so that they don't eat them and become ill. So please don't share your chocolates and candies and yummies with your pets. It's not going to make them very well at all. So we want to avoid that. But have a fantastic Halloween. And do feel free to share your pictures with me. If you haven't already, please do hit that subscribe button. It's completely free and just a really fab way of me being able to share free and safe behaviour and training advice as a qualified and certified professional. But happy Halloween, everyone, and I shall see you soon. Thanks for joining me.